Hi there, everyone. I think you guys should be able to see me and hear me just fine. I do apologize for the last AMA. I think there were some issues with our streaming software, and as a result, our AMA last week wasn't particularly great. But we are back, and today we have actually quite a important AMA for you guys. It's regarding the future, the next short to medium term future for our token. So I have a presentation prepared for you guys. But before I start the presentation, I just want to give a shout out. Make it here today. I see 81 of you online today. I see that the comments are popping a little bit today. It's great to see all of you guys. It's times like this where the community has to stick together. So without further ado, let me bring up the slides. Yep, just give me a minute here. Let's go. Okay, I'll be talking about two things in particular, right? The first is the problems that we are facing, and the second are the solutions that we have formed together with key opinion leaders in the community as well as the core team and with our advisors. So what will happen at the end of this AMA is that within the next 2 hours, a poll would be released where you guys can actually vote which option do you guys think it's best for the community. So we will be presenting two options, and I think both options are great options. You can deliberate on which options do you feel has the most merit, and you can let your voice be heard in our voting platform. So I'll go through that slowly. So without further ado, let's get to it. So we are facing three particular problems, right? We launched our token right before a bear market. It's really challenging to support token price when the overall crypto market is facing high selling pressure. Recently we have the whole issue with UST and Luna, and that caused a lot of bearish sentiment and the lack of investor confidence in the whole crypto market in general. Everyone is presumably shifting their crypto assets to safe haven assets, and generally draining a lot of volume away from the market, and that hurts us as well because, as you guys know, that we are pegged. Our token at least is majority. We have a heavy majority pegged to BNB pricing. So when that goes down, we go down as well. The second problem that we are facing is that crypto marketing is getting increasingly competitive and expensive, right? Most mediums that were popular back in the days, like FullCoinNets and CoinSniper, are getting ineffective or getting really, really expensive and not particularly great value anymore. So as a result, a lot of marketing nowadays comes from much more pricier sources, right? We probably have to invest a lot in advertising in Facebook, in Google, and even then that's a challenge as well because they have very, very heavy advertising restrictions as well. It's getting increasingly difficult. While it's not impossible, it's definitely possible. It's definitely much more expensive, right? And the third problem that we are facing is that we are kind of racing against time to push out our new products and make changes to our dApp smart contracts. Because if we don't push out our new products and change the changes to our dApp smart contracts, our token price might continue to fall. And because we implemented buyback mechanisms and platform fees in these new smart contracts, it's essential that we get it up ASAP, right? Before our token price continues to fall. And so these are the three fundamental problems that we have been facing for the better half of the last 2 to 3 months. We have mitigation strategy in place as per recorded in our white paper, but even still, as you guys can tell, it's not particularly easy supporting a price floor like that, especially when the market and the altcoin market is not doing too great. It's a bear market. You can see the nice bear at the corner of the image there. So to sustain and boost our token pricing, we require additional funding. And how are we planning to get the additional funding? Today, I will propose two options for our community. So these two options have been weighted really carefully, and these aren't options that were thought of, overnight or over the week. We have actually consulted different stakeholders in various stages of planning, and just like the last 2-3 days, we have finalized the deck and we have sent it out to our key opinion leaders and members of our GP group to ask for their opinion. And so far, we have a resounding positive feedback for the two options that we will be presenting today. So the first option, right, is a IDO and a migration. So we currently have 60% of our tokens locked up. We have around 40% circulating supply that is owned by you guys, right? What we propose is that we can launch a new IDO on Pink Sale and sell 20% of the tokens that we have locked up at a higher price. And current holders will receive a migrated token at a 1-to-1 ratio. So what that means is that number one, existing holders will get a pricing bump, right? I think our current token price right now is about 10 cents ish, or 12 cents, around that range. When we do a new IDO, we can actually bump up the cost per token to perhaps double the price. Example, might not necessarily be that number, but our token will receive a modest bump in pricing, and thus it benefits our current holders. The good thing about doing an IDO as well is that we get a new wave of discoverability. We will probably get to 3x the number of holders that we have, and we will get to list on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, and that further supports our discoverability, and that drives volume, and that drives price action. We get to migrate our token contract as well. So this is, if this route were to happen, this will be our third migration over the course of the last 1 year. And every time we migrate, we are upgrading our contract, and it's getting a bit annoying to constantly migrate tokens, and that's something that I want to avoid entirely. So what I propose is that we will migrate to a proxy contract, and that's a contract that SafeMoon version 2 is using as well. What that means is that we are able to alter the code of the token contract. Instead of it being completely immutable on the blockchain, there are certain functions and technicalities that we can do to make sure that certain functions are editable. That allows us to future-proof the token and allow us to not migrate anymore, right? And of course, with so much power, we will hand over the power and the keys over to a DAO to make sure that edits to the token are done with the approval of the community, right? So that's another perk that we have by going to Route 1. Fourthly, we get to rebrand and rename the token. We will most probably rename it to the Subx token. That helps to consolidate our Subx branding. There's a lot of feedback using Subx Finance Lab token, SFX. It's very confusing to our holders, to other communities, and thus we intend to rename it so that it's more concise and it's generally better for everyone. Fifth, my bad. We will have a larger marketing fund. So the amount raised in the IDO, most of them will proceed to go to the new liquidity pool, and a portion of that will be used to fund further marketing efforts, as previously mentioned. Sure, marketing is getting more expensive. The impact per dollar, the cost per conversion, everything is not particularly great, but I do believe that with proper planning, we can actually execute a couple rounds of marketing campaigns that is enough to give us a boost forward for volume and price action. Yeah, so great stuff, 5 good points, but the bad thing about it is that we will still be migrating in a bear market, right? The core problems that I was addressing earlier will not be addressed fully, right? We will still be migrating in the bear market. There might be selling pressure after we migrate as well, right? Because people might want to take profit at a higher price point. So it's not a perfect solution, but this is a solution that's immediate that we can do within a month or so. And this costs, and this will probably be what some members of our community are looking for. They probably want to get the migration done quick and over and done with. And if you're such a member, you should definitely make your voice heard during our votes. So that's route 1, right? So an example is holder A owns 10,000 SFX token at 10 cents, right? After the IDO, token A will now receive 10,000 of the new tokens at a new IDO pricing, which is going to be more than what the market price is right now. So we already did the math to calculate the best possible pricing that we can afford. We took in factors such as liquidity, the amount of volume that we have, the amount of circulating supply, and we know the exact number that we are able to bump up the token price to without having too much negative effects on our price. And we will not be releasing that exact amount publicly because we do not want to prevent any malicious arbitraging opportunities by people who might want to take advantage of this, right? Because the priority is for our previous holders. We do not, for our current and previous holders, and we do not want you know other people that's not within our community to take a look at this and start buying our tokens, trying to arbitrage the new pricing. So we will keep the pricing private for now, but it's definitely something that's better than what we are at now, right? Okay, awesome. Next, so the second route that we are proposing is a buyback migrate later strategy. So what this means is that we will buy back all of our circulating supply from everyone at a premium. All of the current holders will be whitelisted for a future IDO. So that IDO might happen, in 2 months' time, in 4 months' time, depending on where we can actually schedule a larger scale IDO, and preferably in a bull market or in a less bearish market. So how this works is that we will airdrop BNB. We were deliberating between BNB and BUSD, but I think BNB makes the most sense proportionally to the number of tokens in your wallet. So, for example, if you have X amount of tokens in your wallet, we will directly airdrop you BNB over. And that BNB is worth more than the market, and the BNB is at the token pricing is worth more than the market price at the moment. So what that means for you is that you get more value, you get more money back than if you would sell your token on PancakeSwap or a centralized exchange. There's a reduced downside as well, because while waiting for the migration, a lot of things can happen. The bull market, the bear market might continue. You might come into a crypto winter. There might be sell pressure of the token. By giving you guys back BNB, that risk is mitigated, or if not reduced. Right, you guys will not have the risk of price fluctuations anymore. You guys will not have to worry if the price hits 5 cents, 1 cent, because you will get back the value of your token at a premium of the current price. There wouldn't be any bank run as well. It's going to be equal. As you guys know, if someone sells their token on PancakeSwap, the price goes down. But if we are to go with Route 2, we will actually airdrop everyone the same amount of BNB per token. There's no bank run. You guys do not have to worry about, who's going to sell first or anything. Everyone's going to get the same amount of BNB per token. And this is a really expensive endeavor, and that's going to be funded by us. So we will actually spend 6 digits worth to buy back all the tokens and then airdrop everyone the BNB back. And the remaining tokens that you guys have, you guys can just keep hold of it, because that will be useful later on. I'll get to that later. So in the future, we will most definitely do an IDO again, right? When we have a larger scale, we have more time to build our offerings and hire a stronger team to support an institutional scale relaunch. And our holders will all be automatically whitelisted for the future IDO, right? At the priority pricing for the best growth opportunities. So a lot of people are asking, does this mean that I'm realizing the loss that we have in the token if I go with Route 2 instead of Route 1? And my answer is it's more or less the same, because in Route 1, we will be using the BNB that you would be getting from Route 2 to actually buy the token and send it out to you, right? And the only difference is that you guys have significantly reduced downside, because when you get the token itself, when you get BNB itself, you guys do not have to worry about token price going down or anything like that. You guys can sell it off for stable coins as well. Obviously not UST, probably USDC, USDT, and you guys can hold the amount until you guys determine whether you want to participate in the next IDO and join back the community, right? And I mean, we are not going to close the community groups or anything like that. Even if we go with Route 2 and we essentially detokenize the project temporarily, we will still be active on AMAs, on Telegram. We will continue to update you guys on what's going on, and to share with you guys the exciting growth opportunities that we are going to be delivering. So yes, an example would be holder A owns 10,000 SFX token at 10 cents. After the buyback, holder A will receive 10,000 times a higher market value worth of BNB, and holder A will be whitelisted for future IDOs at priority pricing. So as same as before, we already did the math to calculate the best possible pricing that we can give out to you guys, that we can buy back your tokens from. We will not be publicly releasing this to prevent malicious arbitraging. So how would the timeline goes? So today we will actually launch the vote in a couple hours after the AMA ends. We will also start the delisting process from LBank and Probit for the SFX token. On the 22nd, we will end voting and we will tabulate the results. I will be able to confirm which route the community has chosen, and I will have an AMA the very next day to address any issues or any concerns, and to engage with you guys a little bit more. 29th will be the final deadline to withdraw all of your tokens into your wallet. If you have any tokens staked, please unstake them. If you have any tokens in the exchange, please withdraw them. Keep it in your wallet itself. I will be using the wallet amount to determine the amount of BNB or tokens to be sent out to you guys. We will also remove liquidity from PancakeSwap on the 29th. And on the 30th, if Route 2 is chosen, if you guys decide that you guys want us to send you guys BNB for a higher market value, for as of the current moment, we will airdrop all of the BNB to holders on the 30th. Right, and we will continue to offer support along the way, because I'm pretty sure that some people will have tokens, they might not be able, they might need support, they might need to know where to find the BNB, they might have tokens locked up in the staking pool, they want to withdraw it and claim their BNB. All of this will be settled by our development team. They will be on standby for the next 2-3 weeks to help you to answer any technical questions you guys might have. Right, we want to make this a smooth process. If Route 1 is chosen and you guys want us to do an IDO in this bear market on Pink Sale, we will do it as well. We will probably take 3 weeks to prepare for the IDO, and we can launch that IDO and migration on the 16th of June. Right, the new tokens will be immediately airdropped to everybody. Yes, so this is like kind of like a summary slide for Route 1 and Route 2. So these are the two options that you guys will be able to vote for. So Route 1 would be the IDO and migration, and Route 2 will be buyback and migrate later. So for Route 1 and for Route 2, you will still receive more tokens, more value than if you were to sell your tokens at market price. So if you have some tokens now, you do not have to sell them, because you will probably be getting more value back during any of these options. For the first option, it's much faster. We can complete this entire process in a month or two. For the second option, it's a slower process. You get back your BNB within a month, within the next coming weeks. But when we will actually do an IDO again, will depend on the market condition and the amount of time and the amount of institutional interest that we gather. I think that if we're going to go with Route 2, we will do a proper larger scale institutional IDO with probably a couple of rounds. And as previously mentioned, all token holders will be whitelisted for preferred pricing that will most likely be reserved for institutional clients, right? So it's holders and institutional clients for the best pricing. So for Route 1, we might not tackle the fundamental problems we face. Token price might still dip as the bear market continues, or if we enter a crypto winter, there's a risk there that it might mitigate our token downfall significantly, but it might not completely eliminate that possibility. While on the other hand, with Route 2 in the buyback migrate later scheme, there's a greater chance of tackling fundamental problems, because we are able to relaunch much stronger with institutional backing, preferably in the bull market, and you guys might be able to see more robust growth opportunities. So I think neither of them are realizing losses in any ways, right? You are getting token value. Oh, yeah, you are getting token value, and you will still be able to enjoy growth opportunities as we grow and we deliver more product and value to our users and our customers. So we care, right? I mean, since day one, you guys know that we care. We do not leave our holders in the dirt or anything like that. We are not running away. We want to make sure that we come up with a solution that's sustainable, at the same time a solution that benefits our holders as well. We might not be able to make we can't do everything, right? And there's always a risk of operational failures. There's a risk of the project not working on. Those are valid risks that we are running, and those have been addressed in our white paper. But most importantly, what I want to tell you guys is that we listen to you guys. We want you guys to be heard, and we have your best interest at heart, right? Throughout the entire incident, like the last 1 year, we have not sold our team tokens. And in fact, we bought, I think, around 200 BNB worth of tokens when it was around $2 at its peak, right? And yeah, we hold it because we believe in our own project, obviously, and because we do feel that we are able to deliver a lot of value to our clients and as well as eventually to our holders, right? With all the new things that we have planned up, I think we have a really good shot at great growth opportunities together. So the website to vote will be on vote.subx.finance. It's empty right now, but in the next 2 hours, I will publish that vote and you guys can directly vote with your tokens, option one or option two. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our holders, especially those who have been here since the very start, our GP group, our advisors, and of course my team, right? We will bounce back stronger together. Market is absolutely terrible right now, but we are not giving up anytime soon. We still have quite a bit of runway to ensure that we can push out what we want to push out and to offer some value, more value to our community. So let me take the opportunity here to answer some questions. I see there are a lot of questions here, so let's get into it. Do give me a minute to kind of for me to take a look at this. Okay, there's a lot of questions. So let me just start from the start. Hi, Bruno. Hi, Clara. Let's see, what's the first question? Okay, May, you have a question. Does a proxy DAO contract means the whole community can vote on the edits for the new smart contract? So yeah, so for both cases, we will most probably go with a proxy contract. What it means is that we would require perhaps a majority of holders to approve any changes to our token. It's we will be the sole, at least for now, the plan is that the team will be able to submit proposals and you guys can vote for it, but the community won't be able to submit code proposals directly as of now, right? This is to prevent any hijacking of the code. It's just to make the code a little bit more secure. So what we are trying essentially doing is that we are decentralizing the power to execute the changes, but the conceptualizing of it will still come from us. But of course, we will listen to the community and we will plan around that as well. Hope that answers your question. Dot, you have a question. What should I do to migrate to the new version? In both cases, you do not have to do anything. We are most probably going to go with an automatic airdrop. We find it much more convenient instead of migrating through a dApp. Migrating via an airdrop has its own challenges as well. We need to make sure that tokens have been withdrawn from the staking vaults or from the exchanges. If not, the balance might not tally up nicely, and there will be bits and pieces of floating tokens that we have to repay back. But I mean, we have our support team for that, and I think that should not be a huge problem. So ideally, we would want to do a automatic airdrop, and what will make our life easier if you guys withdraw all of your tokens from the staking contracts and the exchanges and just hold it in your wallet. And please secure your wallet. I mean, I think I do not have to say this, but ensure that your private keys are locked up safely and no one else has access to your private keys. Sexy is, how does the voting platform work? Can anyone vote? So yeah, you can just log into the platform, connect your wallet, and you will be able to vote right with the amount of SFX token that you have. The votes are weighted based on the amount of tokens that you have. So the more tokens you have, the stronger your vote will be. Clara, when are the NFT dropping? So yeah, we are still doing a NFT project, but we're going to prioritize settling our token first. We want to make sure that our holders are first prioritized, and the routes that we are taking has been voted, established, executed before we will continue to talk about the NFT drop. But it's still within our roadmap, and I will be able to share more about it in future AMAs. So what's the timeline for migration if we go for it? So I think I've sent out the timeline right here. You can take a look at it again, but basically we will start voting today. We will end voting by the Sunday, and if Route 2 is chosen, we should have the tokens airdrop next week. And if Route 1 is chosen, it will take approximately 1 month before the tokens will be airdropped. So next, yeah, I see some questions about whitelist bots on Discord, so you guys might want to just keep be careful of any fraudulent links out there. you guys have any questions, you guys can ask to link check in the Discord group, and our marketing and community team will actually answer and make sure that you guys are clicking the correct links. So every holder will be whitelisted for future IDOs. Yep, as long as you hold SFX tokens, you will be whitelisted for the future IDO at preferred pricing. So how fast would that IDO happen really depends on the market. So for that, I cannot make any promises, but what I can say is that the next IDO is definitely going to be much larger and at a scale where much more larger than what we had previously. Yeah. So sexy is, if I'm understanding this right, the buyback scheme protects us from further downsides from this bear market. Can someone confirm this? Yep. So basically, you'll be everyone will be getting BNB airdrop to them directly. From there, it's up to you how you want to spend that BNB. You want to buy other projects, you can do that. You want to convert it into a stable coin, you can do it as well. If you want to keep it as BNB, that's fine as well. But basically, you will not be exposed to price fluctuation of our token, right? Right. And generally, I would say it's probably a more conservative way of going about doing things, and I think it's definitely protects more people, because I've seen fears in the Telegram chat that what if token price falls to 5 cents or 1 cent. In this buyback option, that's never gonna happen. You will actually get more value than if you were to sell your tokens on PoolCoin right now, or on PancakeSwap. So what's the better options between the two, Adam? Option. So I think different people have different priorities. So it's up to you we can rewind the AMA once it's uploaded to YouTube and take a look at what I've said, and you can come up to a decision on what do you think is something that you would most benefit from, right? And you can vote on that. Bruno, you mentioned that buyback schemes are usually very rare in the crypto space and are usually adopted by publicly listed company. What was the rationale and reason behind this decision? That's a good question. So, I mean, we do amass. Me and Joe, we do put in quite a bit of money into running this company, this startup, and we wanted to protect our holders the most, right? I mean, we don't have to buy back our tokens. I mean, we have seen a lot of projects, they face difficulty, they give up and they just let their token fizzle out and die off. And that's not something we want to do, right? I mean, we are no way going to leave our holders in the dirt. So while we can still afford it, we we talk to ourselves and determine that buying back tokens from you guys help you guys to mitigate your down risk at the expense of us. But that's fine, because we will not be here without the support and love from you guys anyway. So yeah, we got the idea from buybacks in public companies. For Twitter as well, Elon Musk is trying to buy Twitter. Twitter is at a pricing that's way lower than its all-time high, but at the same time, if Elon Musk buy Twitter, then the downside is protected. And it's kind of the same concept, right? We are essentially de-tokenizing our project temporarily if we are going with option 2, and like Elon Musk mentioned that he might take Twitter public again, it's exactly what we will do. When we have stronger fundamentals, we will definitely do an IDO again for our project, right? And as mentioned, all of the holders will be whitelisted for the preferred pricing that are usually reserved for institutional holders, and that's because we care. Okay. What is the estimated date or indication for institutional relaunch? I think that depends. As mentioned, we do not want to particularly rush it, but at the same time, we do not want to take too long of a time. So what I would say is that we will most probably do it when we gather enough institutional interest, number one, and number two, when it's ideally in a reversal bullish market instead of a very bearish market right now. What happens if that we enter crypto winter, right? And will we still do an IDO then? The answer is it depends. If we are truly in a crypto winter in the next coming months or the next coming years, then we might probably hold it off a little bit, or we might find other ways to launch tokens. Maybe instead of a large scale IDO, we might be able to find another way. I can't comment too much of that on that right now, because I don't have the foresight to see what's exactly going to happen in the next 1 year. But as previously mentioned, the two factors that we are looking out for would be enough institutional interest as well as a better market to relaunch token, right? And I mean, granted, if we do actually go enter a crypto market, you will probably be better off with the BNB or converting it to USDT anyways, right? That's the least risk for you guys. So Dom, you were mentioning that you're thinking is that an IDO in a bear market might not be the best option. You prefer to wait. Yep. Many do share the same sentiment. I also share the sentiment that IDO in a bear market might not be the best option, but it is possible. I think, given our team expertise in doing IDOs, we can probably raise and fill up our hard cap. But that's not where the problem stops. The problem continues after the IDO. We need to continue to put pressure on buying pressure on our tokens so that the charts look green and not red like that. So that's additional challenge for us, especially in this bear market. But if that's the option that people are voting for, we will make it happen, right? We listen to the community and we try our best to do that. Okay, May, what are the steps Subx will undertake in the meantime to drive towards an institutional relaunch? Oh, that's actually a good question. So the first thing that we do is that, okay, assuming that you're talking about Route 2, the first thing that we will probably do is to finish up the development of our products, our new smart contracts for our dApps, and we might join an accelerator program like Y Combinator or 500 startups. And I think that will help us push us deeper into getting institutional interest. And I think that will generally be great for us as well because we get guidance, we get exposure, and definitely being able to build and deliver a better product, a better experience, and more value to everyone. So Dom mentioned that another pre-sale that he have invested recently have delayed their launch. Same thing. Yep, it's essentially the same thing as holding on tokens to the next migration, with the added benefit of not being susceptible to token price swings, right? You guys do not have to worry about people dumping the token price going down. You can remove that from your headache. You get the tokens, you can do whatever you want with it. But when the time is ripe and when we start to IDO and you believe in our vision, you continue to believe in the team and our product and our community, then you're more than welcome to come and join our IDO at a preferred pricing. That's right. Charles mentioned that thank you for allowing the community to vote on this. Yep, I mean, that's what we try our best to do. We want to listen to the community. There are two good options, but they will put us in a different strategic path, right? And we want to make sure that the community has a say in this because we're all in this together. The team invests our money, our time, our youth, our energy into building this project. Sometimes if it doesn't work out or there are things that can be improved, we will continue to improve doing it, right? We are not going to abandon this project. And as previously mentioned, as long as we are alive, we will continue to do our very best until the absolute last drop of cent in the bank account, right? Before we wave the white flag. But rest assured that we still have runway. We are committed into building the product ecosystem and to migrate the token right into one that has more value. So Sir Raman has asked, will the base price for option 2 be based on today's closing pricing? No, it's not based on today's pricing. It's based it's based on the pricing that we calculated. It's higher than the current market pricing, but we won't be exactly showing how much that pricing is, right? Because we don't want people to start arbitraging our token, especially those who are not in our community right now, right? The whole priority is to make sure that the value for existing holders are preserved and retained instead of new holders seeing this live stream and start buying up tokens, anticipating a price bump. So yeah, we will keep it private for now, right? There could be a possibility that our price 5x today, and we might have to dispense out the airdrop at a lower pricing. Although that's very unlikely, that's the kind of incident that we're trying to avoid by not releasing the price rebalancing of the token of the token value. So, but one thing I can say for sure is that the value of the premium value for both option one and option two will be the same. So you guys will not be losing out on the difference in value in either option. Okay. Octave mentioned that current project conditions will review which projects are bear proof. The ones that continue to make progress during this time will be the one that will shape the future. Adversity does not change character; it reveals it. So I do believe in that. Right. So even though we are facing with quite a bit of adversity, we are not giving up. Right. In fact, we are doubling down. Right. We put more money in from our own pockets. We want to deliver it back to holders first and use the remainder to continue building our products and to eventually do an IDO again, right? When the time is right, I think we can bounce back much stronger. I've seen interesting projects in the past that I used to envy and I used to look up to, right? Because I think that they were executed well, get abandoned, right? The owners drain the liquidity pool and just disappear. They claim that someone hacked it, whatever the case. They essentially rock their holders, and that's not something that we are going to do at all. Not a chance. We have our liquidity locked up securely. Our team structure and our governance structure in the company is really well defined. There's not going to be a hostile takeover or any kind of that team drama that might plague some other projects. So I would say that we are really confident to continue building out in this bear market and bounce back when the market recovers. For the next IDO for both routes will be there to participate. Thank you for the support, and I think that is it. I've basically answered every question, and we had a really good conversation today with everyone. So let me just wrap up. Yeah, Dom, you have mentioned the most transparent team I know in the crypto space. I'm excited for the future here. Thank you, Dom, for the support. Thank you, everyone, for the support. Once again, I just want to share too long didn't read um, section right here, right? So rock one will be an IDO and migration. We will do an IDO in the next month. We will do an IDO in a bear market, and we will airdrop the new tokens to all existing holders at higher pricing. So you actually get more value. The second route, the buyback migrate later, or what we call in the office the BBML strategy, would be to give everyone back their tokens, buy back all the tokens from everyone. We will airdrop you BNB, right? And we will wait till the time is right for us to do an IDO again. And this time you will be whitelisted for the IDO. You will be able to use the BNB that you have been received from us to participate, and that's essentially the same thing as you just waiting for an IDO, with the additional benefit of not having to deal with token fluctuation. So we will not have any chat in any fear of fun in the chat about, oh, token price is down. We don't have to worry about that. The other benefit is that the team can also concentrate on building and delivering and preparing for the next IDO, and I think that would be really awesome. So once again, we care. The two options to vote will be released on vote.subx.finance. I will get the team to post a small tutorial as well so that you guys are able to follow it and cast your vote. It's really simple to use the platform, and we are looking forward to see the discussions and the community's opinion on this whole particular um, um, cross well to in this whole particular voting session, right? Sorry, got a little bit tongue tied there. It's a little bit dry and thirsty here. Once again, as previously mentioned, thank you all to our holders, the ones who have stayed with us since the very start. You guys are absolutely awesome. Our GP group, you know, you guys awesome as well. Without the GP groups are the global program member groups. They are our strongest advocates for the project, and they're the one that we talk to when we have any changes and any questions and any problems with their awesome advisors. Pedro, Tyler, thank you so much for all of the feedback that you guys have, and the team, of course, right? Joe, Bell, Dad, Sharon, Chini, Roxanne, Leah, Benjamin, John, Glenn. Am I missing anyone? And of course, my lovely Termin. All right. Thank you, everyone.